What's up, otakus? It's your tour guide here, and it was new comic book day today, and I went to pick up Batman Spawn. Now I knew I could have my choice of comic book shops, and if I went today, I'd likely get the books that I'd likely get access to Batman Spawn. But the risk was, would they be carrying the Jim Lee variant cover, which is the one I wanted? And also, would they be carrying the glow in the dark cover, which is what I wanted? And so I had to basically, I wanted those two books. I really wanted those two books. And in order to ensure, and now I tried pre ordering them from different shops, and I had very little success. Um, I couldn't set something up at Milky Comics, unfortunately. I had sent several communications. Every time I went to the shop, they're just like, "Yeah, just send us the email. We'll set it up." Didn't really get a response there, so that was a little bit disappointing. Um, and so outside of that, I didn't really, I thought the other option would be to pick it up at Arcane Comics, which has a really good array of when new comic books come out, and of course we also had Subspace Comics. Those are sort of the two choices. Hey, Naman, what's up? Did you get any books today for New Comic Book Day? Are you in Virginia? I'm assuming you're back in Virginia now. Maybe not. But anyway, I picked up some books, and I just happened, I was meeting one of my friends for dinner, and I had some time between like work and when we were to meet up. Ooh, that's rough. Your sleep schedule must be all messed up. You're still on Seattle time, I'm sure. So I went to this comic shop. Now I've known about this comic shop for a while, but based on like pictures on Google and stuff, I didn't really prioritize to visit this shop because they're mostly focused on like games and cards, and comics are kind of their um, it's there, but it's not really their main focus. But I went in because they had some back issue bins and stuff. I went in and I started asking, "Hey, by the way, do you take orders? Do you take pre-orders for the Batman Spawn?" He's like, "Yeah, we do." And he kind of just said, "What are you looking for?" And he placed the order right there for me. Um, and so I paid for the books there, and he said when they'd come in, he'd give me a call, and I got a call from him yesterday. And I went in today to pick them up, and it was great. And so I think in terms of new comic book day pickups, I think that's pretty much what I'll do. If there's like a specific like Peach Momoko book or something modern where there's a variant cover that I want, whether it's Jim Lee or someone else, I think that's the way to go. Because I really had a good experience with. Uh, oh man, flight delay. Dude. Yeah, it's pretty bad weather right now across the country. So I hope. Well, it sounds like you got there okay, but I'm sure it was not pleasant. There's a lot of diverted flights, delayed flights right now due to the weather. And besides, it's like getting close to Christmas, right? So it's a busy travel period. But I'm glad you're back in Virginia, huh? We gotta plan our next comic book uh, excursion. All right, so I'm gonna enough with the you know suspense. We're gonna reveal the books that I got now. So well, let's just go through them. First of all, I just want to say when this announcement was made, and I'll be right back. Hang on. So when this announcement was made by, it was made by Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, and Greg Capullo at San Diego Comic Con, I believe. And Todd got up and said, "Hey, we're doing Batman Spawn's coming back. We got the whole gang back together." Meaning he and Capullo, right? Because he and Capullo really, just kind of did the whole, pretty much did the Spawn run in the early '90s, right? Todd kind of started it out, but it was really Capullo's work that powered the book through to where it is today, right? It's just probably the title character and book to come out in my collecting era. So when this announcement was made, we were super stoked because you knew the cover game was going to be strong. I mean, Capullo McFarlane doing the covers, right? That alone should get you hyped. And then you knew like Jim Lee, pretty much everybody in the game was going to do their version of. And there's a lot. I was at the shop today to pick up my 2 copies, but there was this acetate cover that that looked really nice. I was like, man, I should get that. And I was looking on like Key Collector, and there's a bunch of sort of ratio variants and different variants of the standard cover, the A cover, and man, I was just like, I was tempted to like get more, but I knew like, okay, I didn't have the budget, but I did get at another book, and we'll reveal that last. And I just wanted to get it because it is a great cover, and also it's booking right now way higher than what its cover price is, and so I went to the source to get this book at cover price. So let's get to it. First of all, this was one of the best pickups of the year. When that announcement was made, I had the fortune of getting this book at Half Price Books for like $1. It was part of this like Batman lot, fortunately, and I paid like I think $10 for the lot, right? And this book was one of the like 10 or 20, 10 or 11 books there were a lot of books in the lot. I want to say there were over 10, maybe 15 books in that lot. So easily, I mean, I felt like I got the value out of that lot, out of this one book. But we also got some other nice books in that lot as well. So that was really nice. And this is this is the original. This is Spawn Batman DC Image crossover. This is the cover by McFarlane, written by Frank Miller. Now, Frank Miller didn't return to write this sort of relaunch, but anyway, it's probably I would say it's the comic book event of the year. And 2022 has been such a memorable year for me. And it just, these books are like an exclamation point to the year. I mean, it was just a great year of like hobbying. I had fun picking up the books that I've been showing off all year round. And again, we're going to get to the top 22 books that we picked up this year later. I'm probably not going to put these books up on that list. Who knows? Maybe one of these will end up there, but um, these are just special in their own little category. And there aren't a lot of books, but in terms of like Spawn Batman, it's been a pretty good uh, haul. So this is our first book, I guess I could show off, and then the three books that we got today. Okay, so I already mentioned this was on my radar when that announcement was made. I was like, dang, Jim, because Jim Lee was there. He was there at the announcement. This is a DC Image crossover, so DC's bringing their A game, A cover game, and of course, who's the guy that's going to bring that A cover game? It's Mr. Jim Lee, and I think maybe 2 months in after the announcement, Jim Lee revealed this cover on Instagram. And I was like, boom, there it is. And we got it. We got it today. And having it in front of me, it's just a beautiful cover. It's really just full on art. I mean, it's got DC and Image right there in the corner, but it's pretty much there's no trade dress. It's like a version cover pretty much. And the colors, man, you got to just I know you can kind of see it there, but the colors just really create this like spooky, intense mood. And you got what Jim Lee's so great at, just the action poses there. Spawn's got Batman kind of turned around, and it's not looking good for the Cape Crusader, man. Not looking good at all. And what I appreciate about this cover, I do have a Jim Lee Spawn book, but how nice would it have been to see more, like Jim Lee versions of Spawn, like for Jim Lee to have worked on the book. Well, I mean, that's pretty much what you would get had that been allowed to happen, right? I think that's why Todd didn't want Jim to work on the book, because he'd just show him up show up Todd on his own book, right? Maybe that's why Todd didn't do Jim's books either, because Todd would have probably tried to show up Jim on his books. But look at that, man. And Jim does an amazing Batman. That But when you see the Spawn there, wow, all right. So all right, keep it on the background, young. All right, so again, I got caught up. I was at the comic book shop and I had my 2 copies, but I got caught up in all the fever because like this is blowing up on Instagram. You got guys picking up 10 copies, 20 copies. Like people are going nuts over this, and with good reason. I'm so glad to see the younger collectors who are not part of this original 90s run of Spawn Batman. I'm glad to see them getting hyped about it too, because it just shows you how this hobby is interconnected. It's not like, oh, that's something my dad collected and it's not something like new collectors would be into. No, new collectors are into Batman Spawn. I mean, they understand the Todd father's impact on the hobby. They know, hey, it's Todd and Greg back together again, and Greg has just a legion of fans now from throughout his work on Spawn and Batman. And Probably one of the best Batman artists to ever pen the book. So yeah, it's nice to see that, the hype. I was at that comic book shop today, and it not that it was packed, but you could definitely sense that there are a lot of people coming in and out, and that they're coming in and out from this book. Um, Now, um, we're going to do something. Alexa, lights off.
Okay.
Now I've got, it's not really, all right, it's supposed to glow in the dark. So you're not really getting the effect there because I have my monitor there in the background. All right, well, that didn't work out very well, but Alexa, lights on.
Okay.
I'm gonna let my book get into focus here. This is the other book we picked up. Man, is that a nice cover right there? It's just our two heroes just kind of flying through the air with their capes, looking like wings. And this is another variant cover. It's a glow in the dark cover, although it's not glowing in the dark all that well. I do see where the glow in the dark aspects of the book are. It's the moon and sort of all the green there that's supposed to be glowing in the dark. But it's just great, amazing art there. And when I saw this cover, I was like, all right, because they had so many great covers, and I was just like, which one should I pick? And I just really wanted to get the ones that resonated with me, and I just thought, yeah, we're getting this one. It's not only is it a glow in the dark, and this is the thing, like this, he had to special order for me. Um, I went into the shop today. He did not have this cover out on the shelves. And I also checked with Mill Geek. They did not order too many copies of this particular one. So this is kind of hit or miss. If it was at your comic book shop, hopefully you picked it up. Let me know in the comments which ones you picked up. But this one here, man, look at that. How intense is that, man? With the moon in the background. This has to be one of the best covers it has to be probably one of the best covers I've seen this year. I will try that. Yeah. All right, let's try it now. Alexa, lights off.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I need to keep it under the light a little bit more. All right, Alexa, lights on. Alexa, lights on. There we go. To keep turning the lights on and off. All right, so I got the two covers that I wanted. I was like, yeah, all right, I got my covers. And then I was driving home today and I was thinking, you know what? I think I want one more cover. I think I want one more cover. I'll keep that in mind. And as I was coming home from work, I said, you know what? Let's stop by Barnes and Nobles and let's pick that book up. Let's pick the book up that I wanted. And so Barnes and Nobles has their own special edition variant cover of this book, specially commissioned version of this book. And it's intense. As you can see here, it's a exclusive Barnes and Noble edition. And it's got this beautiful cover as well. And this is also a Capullo. So as I mentioned, this one here is a Capullo McFarlane variant. This is also a Capullo McFarlane variant. And I gotta say, They're all nice. They're all very nice. And so the difference on this book and the original is that you had Frank Miller writing and McFarlane on pencils. Well, McFarlane is writing this one, and Capullo's on the pencils this time around. And man, I'm just so happy with all these pickups right now. It's like Christmas came early for me, and we're not even done with the Christmas gifts yet. I just, as you know, if you're following me on Instagram, I made an announcement. Also, I did a short video. Um, Basically, I submitted 9 books in the summer to CGC, and we weren't expecting those books back. I was like, I think when I sent the books in, the lead times for CCS was still like 247 days, and then grading for the modern books was just like, I think it was like a month or so, something. It was long. It was maybe a month to 2 months for the grading part. So I was like, man, that's going to be like a year essentially, and that's what we're expecting. We're expecting to get these books back in the spring, um, maybe March or April. But for whatever reasons, that whether they, the lead times improved or what, but um, these books got through CCS earlier than expected, and they got through grading like really quick. I want to say that it was like 2 weeks where they were received at um, CGC, and then they got graded and shipped out in a span of 2 weeks, essentially. So like something like 14 days, right? That's fast. And I was like, I was stoked when it got it out of CCS, and then just to kind of zip through, and they were shipped out. One package was shipped out Tuesday, and one was shipped out this morning. Um, Today's Wednesday, so that's really, essentially that means I'll get these books back uh, possibly by Friday, or Saturday at the latest, right? Because it's a 3 business day delivery. Um, but I would anticipate they deliver on Sundays, even the priority mail. So yeah, we're looking at, I'm getting probably going to get them by Saturday. And so when I do get them, we're going live that night, and I'll show you what the grade. We're going to unbox it and show you the grade. So stay tuned to that. But it does feel like Christmas came early with these pickups here. And in terms of the book of the haul, I mean, it's a small haul. 3 books. I love this Jim Lee cover, definitely. This glow in the dark cover is definitely awesome as well. But I gotta say, this exclusive Barnes and Noble edition, um, this is a harder book to get. This is not available at your local comic book shop. You have to go to Barnes and Nobles and pick them up. And I went to Barnes and Nobles. This was one of two. And the thing is, like at Barnes and Nobles, they have them on the newsstand, like this magazine rack. Um, so kind of like, the old school newsstand type feel, like they were just sitting there with the magazines. Anybody could flip through them. That wasn't in a bag and board. But fortunately, this was put out this morning, and I picked up the cleaner of the 2 copies. They're both pretty clean copies, but this one had the sharper corners, and definitely the better conditioned book. It's flawless. I mean, if I were to send it right now, I can't imagine it would not get like a 9.8. Um, I do want to grade. I do want to grade this one. It's just we'll have to do it at some other point. It would have been nice to send this book in for the Todd signature. Maybe Todd. It looks like Todd had some success with this signing event, which leads me to believe, even though it might not be an annual thing, he will do it again. So on the next Todd McFarlane signing, I think this book and possibly this book, these are two books we'd want to get signed along with maybe our Spawn one. This Spawn one's a really 9.8 potential copy as well. So those are three books we could send in, but yeah, happy with these pickups. Very happy with these pickups. I didn't think I would be this, like I knew I had been waiting like all summer, well pretty much like since the announcement release. So we're talking about like 4 to 5 months, right? 4 to 5 months of waiting for these books to drop. And I gotta tell you that man, just looking at the covers, they did not disappoint. And I feel like I got the three best books that you could get that I wanted out of all the covers I've seen and stuff. There are a couple up more out there that I'm just like, man, that's really hot. But I think these are the three top ones. This dark cover here for the exclusive edition is really just, it's nice. It's nice. So I like this one. I also love this cover, the glow in the dark cover. They're just looking so. I'm just looking so. That like creature like, right? That like there. And then man, this cover, I knew. So I mean, I've just been fawning over this cover since Jim posted it on his Instagram, and so seeing it in person with the colors of that green popping and the dark shading there is really. Look at that skull belt. This skull. You can see the belt on there. There you go. Look at that. It's just awesome. So yeah, there are my pickups. And looks like Young, you're the only one in. So what's been going on? I know we should probably hop on a call and maybe do another like conversation video. But when you have time, it sounds like you're pretty busy. But I'll definitely connect with you when you come back from Virginia. We'll again, my comic budget's getting restored in February. So I've got like I had parking tickets and I had like some the CGC submission. So I haven't really consistently been getting my comic budget. These are a little separate. These ones I had to kind of put money aside for to get. But yeah, like consistently I've been getting like a $30 budget for books. And so I didn't have access to that. I kind of ran out of money, like got the advance from my wife. So I had to kind of wait. But that revenue is coming, or that allotment of the budget is coming back. So it's coming back in February. So I figure when I get access to those funds, we'll go and pick up some more books. Okay, yeah, 20 minutes. Sure, we can go live. Is there anything you want to like chat about? I guess we could go over the books I got on your channel, but we could do that. I'm going to end this live video now, and I'll connect with you when you're done with your work. So yeah, get your work done, and I'll see you soon. All right. Peace out, YouTube family. We'll see you later. Thanks.